So, those of you that saw yesterday, I have gone ahead and waxed this morning, and it just looks so cool. And I had quite a lot of comments about how on earth I got that look in the end, and I thought I'd show you because I've got this cupboard right next to it. It's actually a filing cupboard, and it's on its side because it sticks out a long way, so the drawers are actually round here. So I am going to paint those as well, but because obviously this is in the room, I want this to look the same and to fit with it. So I actually ended up painting, it's a bit loud, I don't know if I can tell, I'll talk a bit quieter. I had to turn the cam right up to get some volume. That was what the problem was yesterday. But I actually ended up finger painting most of this piece of furniture. So I've put one coat of Mirage, the turquoise, on, and it's a little bit sketchy in places. It's showing through, and I just thought I'd show you how I did it. So I've got a bit of paint, and it's a mix of acrylics and I'm just going to moisten that up as well. It's been out a little while. The red is chalk paint, the yellow is acrylic, and I literally just in the wet. No, I'm gonna hang on. I'll move it to where you can see. So in the wet, I'm doing real free spirited shapes that I like, that just feel natural. And then I might add some finger printed dots in it, and swirl it out. But this was the kind of process that I went using the whole of that other cupboard that I did yesterday, till it got to something that I like. And this is what we're going to be doing in the art class. So one of the first things that we're going to be doing, if I just move it back so hopefully you can see a bit more, and I'll tip it up a bit, is doing some work just using our fingers. I think our fingers are very underrated as tools for painting. And what happened yesterday when I was doing my piece was that I just got totally engrossed in getting my fingers totally in it. It felt really authentic and organic, and I like the fact that because I've only got one layer of paint underneath, it's pulling back some of the dark underneath as it gets wet, and I'm going to leave that. I'm not trying to go for a solid look. And the trick is definitely water. This is just plain water. This kind of artwork, I've decided to call it mindful painting, because it's all about getting in that zone and really feeling your way rather than having a plan. Actually kind of absenting yourself from thought. It's a really fantastic kind of escapism, and I have surprised myself with what I've achieved art-wise, that the pictures that I have created just from playing around and sticking my fingers in it, and quite often it changes. I decide, I like something, and then I decide it doesn't go with whatever's next, so then that has to go. But what I did yesterday was just get lots of this colour on, just like this. It probably looks like a crazy painting right now. And it does involve having to step back from it to see if you're liking the look. So it starts with that. And yeah, a bit of mindful painting. It totally is, it's escapism. And then I've got more Mirage back in my fingers. And I can't tell you just how cool that feels. The coldness of the paint, the texture, the slipperiness, I don't know. And then the patterns it creates on your piece of furniture is just, well, I'm not interested in a super smooth look. I'm interested in a side of a boring old filing cabinet looking like a piece of artwork. That's what I'm interested in. And the reason I'm going to all this trouble with my filing cabinet is because it has to live in my creative space, and I can't be having some boring filing cabinet looking like a boring filing cabinet, reminding me of the bills I've got to pay, etc. in the room, but it can't go anywhere else because it's too big. So I'm hiding it, and I'm disguising it as something that's going to please me every time I look at it. And I think it's really important to have your creative space as somewhere that you feel free of the worries of life, somewhere that you can come and hide away and play. I'm just loving that already. It's just, I need to get some red into it. Let's get some red. Now the light's a little bit glary, so I'll move it in a little bit. Hang on. Just trying to get a light. I've got too much light. And I'm very excited. I don't know if you've seen, I've ordered some like rainbow film stuff that you put in the window, and it fills your room with rainbow colours. So me. I'm going to be so excited with it. So this is a very brief sort of hop on because I just wanted you to see my process following all the questions I had on my post. I had such a good response to my piece yesterday, and hubby was saying there's just no, it feels in the painting world sometimes there's no rhyme or reason as to what people will like or not. And I've done lots of creative pieces and had very little response, and then my piece yesterday went down very well everywhere I posted it, and this is how I created it. Just getting my fingers totally engorged in wet delicious paint, and then look at the results. Can you see that, guys? Because what I've done, there's you can probably see this is a sponge that once I've got the sort of colouring right, and it's dried, I go back in with that's the final details, and even things like you see this, that's just made with the side of my finger. So, and then I've got some triangles, that's the only other, so I've used a square sponge and the triangles, that's made with the edge of a credit card. So really just using stuff that we've got in the house. I have totally mixed up acrylic paints and chalk paints, and I'm using them both freely. together. Acrylic paints are perfectly good for furniture. They're very durable and long lasting. And then what I've done at the end of that piece this morning is wax it all thoroughly, and it's really popped it out. To me, it just looks like a lovely art piece. I love the fact that the bright colours at the top kind of feel like they're dripping down into all of the panels. I really like the look. So this has got to sort of match. This has got, the other one had some dark in it because it had some black panels underneath. So I might need to add some black, but I might not, I don't know. Can you see me? You can't see me, don't making dots. There, little dots. I actually really like the fingerprint. It's kind of cool. And even when it doesn't come out as a whole circle, let's see if we can see that really close up. See that? Just a little sort of half broken circle, so you wouldn't necessarily know it was a fingerprint. And I like mixing two colours together so that you get sort of half a colour. Look how fun that is though, just playing. Little spiral there, really quite like that. Yeah, I put a bit more colour into that. But this whole process of painting, whether it be on furniture or canvas, is all about this kind of playing, this, oh, I like that, that feels good to me today, so let's go with that. And if it means further down the painting, further down the canvas, that doesn't fit anymore, then we rub it out and just paint over it. It's only paint, right? It's all only paint. So what does it matter? So I came on primarily to show you this, just as an introduction to the sort of things that we're going to be doing in the Fairyland Art Club. The art club is once a week, 7 o'clock on a Monday, and I will be doing some live demonstrations, but we will also be working on our creative space and the ritual of telling the world that we're starting to paint, really. I will be doing some tuition, short tuitions at the beginning of each session, and then once a month we're going to have a Zoom live meeting where you will be able to show your work and share it with the group, which should be really cool. Looking forward to that. And if you join, you also get 25% off all Fairy Chic paints. So if you want to do this kind of art just using chalk paint, you certainly can. I'm using a mixture of acrylics and chalk paint. But if you want to find out more, there's a link at the top of this live to my website where you can read a bit more, see a bit more, and decide whether or not it's for you. It's £12 a month, which is £3 a week, guys, which is pretty cheap to get into the healing zone. Yes, I will wax it. And that is, I don't know if you can see the difference between the two because the light is problematic, but that is waxed, so it's come up really deep. It's deepened the blue. This blue, the Mirage turquoise, looks quite similar. It's because it's wet. I don't know if you can see the bottom. Yeah, it's a lot lighter. That's dry. So once the top dries, it will start to look more like the that at the bottom. So the wax has brought it back up to the darkness. It's still got to go off, the wax, and then I will buff it, which would hopefully give it a little bit of a gleam as well. So yeah, I've used wax, and I'm really pleased because this particular piece was absolutely ridden with bleed through, and it doesn't show. This style of painting has totally obliterated any of that. So that's really good, because it was really problematic the first time I painted it. And I didn't block it or anything. It's just, this style of painting is brilliant for bleed through problems. I recommend it. So yeah, there we are. So I'm going to carry on today. I just wanted to show you how I did it. Hopefully you can see at least some of that. Look at that, even that, my spiral that I've then squirted with water has just all gone drippy and runny and lovely. So I've got some work to make that look like the painting I want it to look like, but it will. Thanks for dropping in and joining me just for a short while today. And I needed to test out the volume on this cam as well to make sure that I've managed to solve that problem. Okay guys, thank you very much. Have a lovely rest of the day.